Housework without honour or humanity. This is the way of the house husband. Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Northern Soul Reaper and today I'm reviewing The Way of the House Husband, a manga series with art and story by Kosuke Oono. This was recommended to me on YouTube in my comments on one of my videos by Andre Young. Thank you very much for the recommendation, Andre. If you like these kind of videos, please consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel and ringing the bell. That's the best way to get the videos as and when they come out. I've just hit 100 subscribers on the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed so far. It really means a lot. I also have Twitter and Instagram. The tags will be in the video and also I'm leaving them down below in the description. Give me a follow on there if you like. It's mostly just pictures of my cats, but also I like to talk about what I'm reading or watching at the time as well. So give those a follow if you like. The Way of the House Husband tells the story of Tatsu. He is or was the Immortal Dragon, the most fierce and feared member of the Yakuza. But he has since got married to a workaholic and he's left that life behind. He has taken on the life of the house husband. The Way of the House Husband story is presented in a series of vignettes. Each chapter is its own little self-contained story. There isn't an awful lot of plot to be spoken of really, but to be honest that's okay and it absolutely works in this book's favour. One chapter might see him going to an anime store to pick up a new series of his wife's favourite anime, or the next might see him breaking in a robot vacuum. These scenarios presented aren't anything outlandish, but it's how Tatsu goes about these mundane tasks that makes the series shine. In the anime store, he treats the entire transaction like a drug deal, talking to the clerk as if he's buying some kind of contraband goods. And when he's breaking in the robot vacuum, he treats it as if he is initiating a new member into his gang, the way that he speaks to it. I love that the way of the house husband takes these everyday tasks and just totally flips them on their head when viewed through the lens of an ex-Yakuza member. Now, I don't want to spoil too much of the story in this series because each little chapter is its own story, so I don't want to give too much away. But some of my favourite chapters, one of them is Tatsu is jumped by some former gang rivals and he leads them on a chase. Instead of fighting them, he leads them into a department store and he gets them involved in a bargain discount bin war, trying to get them to grab the best items from the bargain bin, and then he scolds them when they don't come up with the goods. Or in another chapter, Tatsu runs into a former gang leader rival, and instead of having a big fight, as you would expect, in order to settle their differences and decide who's the best, they have a social media war. They go on Instagram, or the equivalent of Instagram, to see whose desserts can get the most likes. That's how they settle the score. Throughout reading the 2 volumes in this series, I couldn't help but get caught up in the activities, and with each chapter I was looking forward to seeing how the author would warp the next scenario that Tatsu found himself in. Now, because this story is presented as a series of vignettes and short stories, there isn't much room for an overarching plot to speak of, but if you can get past that and take it for what it is, I'm sure that there's a lot to love here. You will find something to enjoy in this series. Now, that's not to say that there isn't any consistency throughout this series. There's a great cast of characters who crop up from time to time across the 2 books. There's Miku, who is Tatsu's workaholic wife, and she's also secretly an otaku. This is a fact that Tatsu completely fails to understand at times. And there's also Masa. He is a former gang member and underling to Tatsu, and when Tatsu left the Yakuza, it seems like that gang completely crumbled away, and Masa runs into him one day and tries to get him to join back up with the Yakuza and tries to re-establish the gang. But instead of that happening, what actually happens is Tatsu actually starts rubbing off on Masa, and he teaches him the way of housework and gets Masa to evaluate his life throughout the series and helps him with different things like cleaning. One chapter in particular sees Tatsu showing Masa how to remove curry stains from his clothes, treating the entire thing, of course, as if he's removing evidence from a crime scene. And also a big shout out to the other housewives that crop up from time to time, whether Tatsu is at a cooking class or yoga. The other housewives are always there and giving them a bit of banter. I love those characters as well. The artwork in this series is absolutely superb. Kosuke Oono draws this series with a very realistic and grounded look, and it serves the series well. When Tatsu approaches something, there's often a depraved or terrifying look in his eyes, which only highlights how bizarre it is to see a former Yakuza member taking part in a volleyball tournament with other housewives and house husbands and treating it as if it's a turf war. And the environments are just very realistic, and to see the absolute madness that ensues whenever Tatsu approaches something is something to behold, and the artwork really reflects the story in a great way. So in summary, I really enjoyed the first 2 volumes of this manga. Way of the Househusband is published by Viz under their SIG label, and I believe there's another volume coming in May of this year. I definitely recommend this series if you want something that is genuinely trying to be unique. I've not really read anything like this series so far. It's a mix of slice of life and fish out of water. It's absolutely hilarious from chapter to chapter. If you want something that's a little bit light on plot but makes up for it by hilariously presenting a series of short stories that chronicle the life of a former Yakuza member as he adapts to being a house husband, then I definitely recommend giving it a go. Now, before we end the review, I want to do something that I do on my reviews, which is highlight the team that brought this volume over in English. So the translation was done by Sheldon Jisker. English adaptation and editing was Jennifer LeBlanc. We have touch-up art and lettering by Bianca Pistillo, and the design by Alice Lewis. Thank you so much to everyone involved in bringing this volume over. Without them, I wouldn't be able to read it and review it, and I really enjoyed doing these reviews for you guys, so thank you so much. That's all for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you've read Way of the Househusband, what you think about it, or if you pick it up, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram and let me know what you think. If you liked this video, guys, please consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel and ringing the bell. As I said at the start, this is the best way to get the content as it comes out. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Northern Soul Reaper, and until next time, goodbye.